Cucamonga since 1988. In the bottom left corner, we have from Team Dignitas, it is Bischu. Bischu is, again, a guy that has a pretty big reputation preceding him of all inning and stuff like that, but I've been talking and seeing some of his VODs, and Bitter really says that Bischu's been turning a page, bringing out to 3 bases, going for more of that standard Protoss style, but it's just how he takes that path to that. Like, he takes gateway expands, not necessarily forward fast expands.
Which, I love gateway expansions. If you can actually pull them off, they're really, really powerful. But yeah, Bitter has been talking about that. And I do want to mention, a lot of people actually kind of write Bischu off as a very all-in type of 2-base style, which actually a lot of people classify MC as that if he didn't win so much stuff. But, Rotterdam always says it. If you can do a cheese and everybody sees it all the time and everybody plays against it all the time and you have it work, that really has to bring some spotlight to you. I mean, that in and of itself is a very hard thing to do. That means you have some extra ability over the rest of the simpletons in the world.
Yes, the plebeians.
The plebeians,
if you will. But it's not always that simple. If you're able to really get that leg up, a lot of times Zergs really don't let you try to get that leg up. But at the same time, it's so unique and different according to the metagame that people may not be used to it. We'll see how things unravel in-game on Cloud Kingdom. But even more so than that, Andre, what kind of stuff do you like seeing on Cloud Kingdom in PvZ? We've been seeing a lot of people go for 3 bases and go for that giant Colossus Stalker Sentry push and just go pre-hive timing. It seems like that people haven't really been falling for those standard Stargate builds that we've been seeing for a while. What's been going on? Why are people going for Robo all the time now?
Well, I think Robo is just 10 times more powerful. Similar to how ZVZ, the Infestors, are so powerful because of those ledges and the plentiful ledges on this map. The Colossus is similarly an AoE, and if you actually trap units on that bridge, well, just say goodbye to them because those Colossus are just going to wipe everything off the floor. So I think that's why we see that so prevalent in this day and age. That's also why you see any form of early game pressure on this map too. Going into late game stages doesn't really fare well, in my opinion, for Protoss. There's a lot of different counterattack paths you have to be careful of. There is also drop. There's, especially this 4th base, there's a lot of ways you can harass it, etc. So a lot of players actually choose to do these Immortal all-ins, try to get their 3rd base, and then do a 3-base huge aggression, whether it be, that 15-minute timing right before Broodlords come out, or something of that manner. But you can see a lot of aggression, and even when people play macro, they're going to actually take their macro and transfer it directly into a lot of units rather than trying to get that really quick mothership or go into High Templars, Archons, a little bit of Stalkers, Immortals, Colossus, etc.
Yeah, that's a lot of gas, though, and we'll see how gas management, which is getting more and more important, Andre, in PvZ. And that's why people are kind of actually reduced the number of sentries. They say, maybe I don't need the 14, the 15 that MC used to get when Sentry Immortal first popped up. Maybe I can scale it back to 8 and squeeze out a couple more Immortals. And Immortals are really strong on this map as well. And we'll see how things go. But for now, Sheth is just superseding, trying to take his natural expansion directly and go for his 3rd spot. Cloud Kingdom used to have this huge cannon spot, or cannon rush spot, where you can kind of sneak it behind the middle line. But you can actually deal with it due to the new Queen range.
Yes, you can.
It's a little fun fact in case you haven't.
Frodan, do you know how much of a nerd I am right now? Okay, so last night I couldn't go to sleep because my back has been killing me for some reason. I think it's actually.
I'm sorry. Your lower back or
yeah,
upper
my
back?
lower back. It's like my tailbone. I don't know what it is.
Me too, man. Trying to carry Mr. Bitter and all of it. So
you gotta stop playing LOL with him. No, just kidding. Bitter showed me his record. He's doing really well.
He's
so I'm not gonna.
really well.
I can't make fun of him
We
anymore.
have to stop making fun of Ben. So
okay. Anyway, I do want to mention that I couldn't sleep last night. So what did I do? I kid you not, I thought of gas timings, okay? And this is, I tried to think of a way to look at gas in another light. So it's like, okay, how do I actually prepare for how much gas I actually need? So what I've been doing is actually taking the amount of gas I need and then dividing it by the time in which it takes me to actually get that gas. And I figured it's actually 2 gas you get per geyser per second. So that's really, really easy to do. So let's say you need 100 gas and you only want to use 1 geyser. It's going to take 50 seconds. voila. So off of that, you can actually devise a way to actually get the perfect build. Dude, so I have this build now in ZVP where I pop out with 4 Infestors, which is just the amount you need to kill sentries at the 10-minute mark. And that'll actually be able to kill those immortal pushes.
All right, well, let's let Sheth know.
That was just an aside.
Let's let Sheth know if that ever comes into play.
That doesn't actually apply to anything in this broadcast. That was an aside that I was like, hey, look how big a loser I am.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Dude, all I think about is StarCraft, day and night. I actually write about StarCraft.
That's true. You are a coach at School Gaming, where you do a bunch of cool exclusive stuff, and that's actually for really advanced people. For people like me that I want to understand exactly what you said, Andre, but I'm thinking a millisecond because Bischu is going for Stargate play, which is something we don't see that often on Cloud Kingdom. Like we said, they usually go for a Robo, but look at this. Bischu is doing similar to what Bling likes to do, going straight after Robo after a Stargate initially, after pressuring. This is actually a really cool build that I guess he shares with his teammates.
Now, I think the main way to actually counter this is to go something like what Stefano does all the time, which is to actually make roaches. I should say Stefano and Mondragon, because both of them like to do this. You just go mass roaches, and it's because basically Protoss are trying to do everything at the same time. Get Void Rays, get Phoenixes, get their tech to actually counter potential Hydras, and as well as that take a third base. It's just so much, and you don't actually have a standing army at home. You can a lot of times die, or at least get way behind to just a couple of Roaches.
Yeah, and now that Sheth has been supply blocked, his production has been stalled pretty significantly. But again, it's all about harass at this point because, I mean, Bischu is doing a variant of the Stargate fast third. Some people just choose to go only Phoenixes, but in this case, he just has a Void Ray, so also pressure. This is just kind of cool to see Bischu's take on going for a fast third using Stargate. Now, a lot of people, again, say, doesn't Bischu all in? Well, in this case, he has a really nice timing with 3 bases, but it also gives Sheth plenty of time to set up. If Sheth can catch wind of this 3rd base, which he already has actually because he scouted it, now Sheth can take a 4th base. And, oh, he already has.
Yes, he does need to be careful though, because basically he's just taken so much damage at this early game stage, and really he's letting this 3rd go up super fast. I mean, this is a 9-minute Nexus with harassment. Normally, it's going to be around 10 minutes, 30 seconds. I would say 10 to 12 minutes. That's like the standard. 12 minutes is pushing it actually. But because it's so early, Sheth is actually saying to himself, well, this reactive 4th base really isn't going to be that much. I'm giving my opponent the tempo. That's why he's trying to find something to actually sway the game in his favor. But as it stands right now, I mean, Bischu just has the better build in this game, and he is leading into mid-game, maybe even end-game with an advantage.
And at this point, he's just going to put on some light pressure onto his 4th base, force a reaction. Try to bait out Sheth's queens, but Sheth has Infestors ready to go. Very nicely timed by our Zerg player from Team Liquid.
Oh, this is really scary. I mean, obviously those Phoenixes can definitely pick up those Infestors, but there's just too many Infestors out now.
Yeah.
So Sheth will be able to stabilize his 4th base. Still not many units for him, so it's a little bit scary, and as you can see, 2 Immortals are already on the field. Now Bischu, where is he switching over? There it is. The Robotics Bay is finally finished right now. We're going to see Colossus pop out of here. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a 2nd robotics facility, and that should just really push the fact that he has such an advantage in economy. He can really take advantage of this because he has the perfect army composition. His opponent really isn't putting any pressure on him. Obviously, taking the 4th base, you can't put pressure on him. Just go and really get as many Colossus as possible. 3, 4, 5, push out, and you should be able to do massive damage against your opponent, who really hasn't had much time to get a lot of gas.
Yeah, some people might be asking why it's so important to just save a few Phoenixes. Well, not only do they control the map and help you, dominate Zerg units that are in the center of it, it helps you get vision on things like the hive timing as well, or his unit composition, or you can even use those few Infestors to disable, the few Phoenixes to disable the Infestors using their Graviton beam. So it's very important just to have the utility even going into late game. And think about it too, it's your early gas. If you let them die for almost nothing, it's like, well, I basically invested my early gas into nothing, and I could have had other tech much quicker. But look at this from Bischu, a 2nd Stargate, Andre.
Whoa. So what do you think we're going to see, Void Rays or Carriers?
Well, he already has one. He's kept his one Void Ray alive. I don't know. I don't think he has the gas, honestly, for carriers at this point. Is he going for a very quick mothership and turning to a 4th base?
Maybe he forgot he made a Stargate. That's entirely possible.
How did you forget it? You have Phoenixes out in the field.
But, yo, people do that, though. It's so funny.
I've done double Twilight before by accident.
Oh, I've done double Twilight.
I'm blinking my Stalkers, and I make like a second Twilight.
I've done double Twilight, double Armory,
double
quadruple Engineering Bay.
Double.
You've seen me do quadruple Engineering Bay.
Do like 6 Evo chambers by accident. It's like, whoops. Oh man, that's crazy. I think the biggest offender is always the double infestation pit because you accidentally missed the Ultralisk Cavern.
Yeah, I'm gonna change Ultralisk Cavern.
I changed it to A. I changed Ultralisk
to A. Yeah, that's clever. I might do like C or something.
It's always just out of the way and you kind of like miss it.
Yeah.
Fat finger green. But you can see that Sheth at this point has 4 base not that comfortably. He's putting up Spine Crawlers, doesn't have that good saturation, does have the gases, but we're talking about Bischu, huge 3-base push incoming, and that's exactly what we're getting. 2 Colossus only in this army, but another one rallying. That's a lot of full energy sentries. If you can land fungals on it, it would be absolute money, but this army is intimidating, Andre.
Oh yeah, and this is the perfect time. You can see Hive Tech really isn't there just yet. Greater Spire, he's hitting around the 15 to 16 minute mark and really denying this 4th base. So what he's trying to do is just kill this base and then have a clean trade against his opponent. Try his best to actually trade as efficiently as possible. If he can do that, he has the economic advantage, and he just goes on for the win, knowing that he can produce more units than his opponent.
Nice fungals on some of the sentries there, but a massive blink forward to try to catch some of the infestors and the corruptors. Not really able to get to his opponent. In fact, the Broodlords that are morphing, where are they, Andre? Where are the Broodlords? Oh, they're all at the 4th base. Well, this is going to be awkward because how is he going to protect his Broodlords?
Yeah, he doesn't have a good way, and there's the big blink. One-shotting every Broodlord, and the Broodlords aren't even attacking. They need to just be attacking that position.
Oh, and
but
the
still
force fields, Andre, trapping the Zerglings and being able to reinforce. Very well done by Dignitas Bischu. Only 2 more Broodlords remain. And Bischu is just going to suicide his Stalkers and try to pick off as much as he can while blinking for sniping even the remainder of the Infestor. Sheth now down to just pure Zerglings at this point. A few couplers will pop, but it's not going to be very useful.
Such intelligent play. Taking out actually the more important base, this 3rd base, is a big luxury to take out. The 4th base, the reason why Bischu likes this being here is because, look, he can poke up here, he can deny a lot of mining time if he takes this area with, let's say, just 2 Colossus and a bunch of units. So this is very advantageous for Bischu. He's just going to max yet again. Not even that. He's going to wait until he gets 3 Colossus or even 2 Colossus yet again and push out again and really keep that pressure up, knowing he has such a dominant economic advantage on his opponent.
Andre, I think you're right that Bischu forgot he had a Stargate because he didn't use his Stargate whatsoever, but he does have a mothership on the way. It's okay, man. Quad Engineering Bay, you can get building armor and high-sec auto-tracking that much faster.
Exactly.
In unison with your +2/+2
That's why
timing.
it's just like, oh, no. You don't need high-sec. You need building armor and then Neo-Steel frame. And you put bunkers on.
What are you going to do with 6 Marines in a bunker, man?
Dude, you can do the world with 6 Marines in a bunker.
Does the bunker gain any more health from Neo-Steel frame?
Like
in the campaign?
No, I wish. Oh my god, how sick would that be?
That would be really awesome.
Dude, the whole, I swear, if that actually came into fruition, I would actually play all my games just bunker creeping.
Andre's like, I'm not casting anymore, guys. I'm going back to pro gaming.
Bunker creep, everything. Oh, TVP, line of bunkers. TVZ, line of bunkers. GG, son.
Well, one can only dream, Andre, and one can dream of holding off this huge Protoss push.
Yeah.
But man, with just Zerglings and a few Broodlords, Sheth has done a pretty decent job in terms of securing his economy up to this point, but not being able to preserve his units. Mothership is now out into the field, almost at 100 energy. Sheth trying to buy time with a counterattack, but Bischu already has enough Warpins, and he also has a Dark Templar Shrine. Gonna start warping and making DTs for Archons as well. This is just so hard to face if you're a Zerg player in this position, and especially with the Vortex coming in, what can you really do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do against the player Vortex. I don't know what to do against Vortexes as it is. I mean, this is just an insurmountable lead that Bischu has. Absolutely brilliant play from the early game stages. I have to say, that opening was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to watch. And I think what Bischu should do is just go around to this top part again, deny this expansion. You don't actually have to move in all the way. Deny it, and maybe even attack this third base over here. But for now, he's just trying to fend off his fourth base is yet again under attack.
And Sheth with the nice run by here. That's going to deny Bischu a significant amount of economy, actually, to the point where Bischu should start banking gas and whatnot so that he can go for another mass wave of reinforcing Stalkers or Archons, whatever he wants.
That's exactly right.
But at this point, Bischu has still the army that he wants. He has the dream army as long as he gets the Vortex off. But I mean, he really doesn't even necessarily need it. That's not that many Brewlords, not that many Infestors. They're doing a good job holding the ramp, but the Archons are getting very weak, so the Vortex won't even be that strong, but he does catch a good portion of it. Only one Broodlord, the luckiest Broodlord in the world, does manage to escape the Vortex, but Bischu, man, this army is so big. The mothership finally drops. The aftermath is going to be ugly, Andre.
Oh, poor Broodlords. They're going to try to get away here, but there's the entirely huge blink. And we're going to be seeing a GG tap out from Sheth anytime right now. A nice wave of Zerglings is going to come in here, but the fact of the matter is that Colossus on the field, or those two Colossus on the field, just represent so much abilities to defend against that. Look at that, 26, 28 kills on this one Colossus, 33 on the other. GG exclamation point gets called out by Sheth, and we have ourselves a 1-0 advantage for Bischu.
Strong attacks by Bischu. Man, that first attack, it was just it was an unconventional place to attack. Most Protosses forced their way down that ramp of the fourth, and that's where Fungals can really mess you up as a Protoss player. And a lot of people kind of struggle and be like, man, I can't really push that fourth. Bischu just says, I'm going to go around it. You know, like, why do I have to stick to that? And then from there, able to really situationally position himself very advantageous, saying, well, the Broodlords are not with the army. I'm going to section them off. Oh, you're trying to surround my Stalkers. I'm going to force field and make you deal with my Colossus. Very, very well situational awareness.
Yes, absolutely.
By Bischu.
But I do have to say, like, going into that endgame stage, it's basically with the material each of the players had, it's basically game over for Sheth. He just doesn't have enough Infestors, enough Corruptors to deal with all of those units. Not enough Spines on the ground, not enough Zerglings. And it's because that early game stage, Bischu was able to get everything, have his cake and eat it. And that's what's so powerful in that early game stage. That's why I really like that build, man.
I love eating cake, Andre.
I love eating cake. My God. Ice cream cake is my favorite. Do you know what else is my favorite?
Carvel ice cream cake is my favorite.
Mrs. Walker's. Do you know what Miss Walker's is?
I know Mrs. Fields.
Yeah.
we sound so unhealthy right now, man.
Anyway, let's go into our game 2.
You know what is healthy for your computer? It's Cooler Master. Thank you so much for sponsoring Game 1 between Bischu.
You know, I have a Cooler Master case.
Yeah, I do too.
It's the best thing ever. Yeah.
Or CM Scout. I have the CM Scout.
Oh, okay.
It's CM Storm.
Yeah.
Both really good lines. Pick up yours today at coolermasterusa.com. We'll be back after a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. BRB.